Hello, Crossroads Church, and anyone else who may be listening to this. My name is Keegan, coming to you with the daily devotion for Saturday. And Crossroads is continuing its current sermon series called Financial Fitness. And this past Sunday, the message was on investing wisely. And the primary scripture verse came from Luke chapter 12, verses 16 through 21, and it's the parable of the rich fool. And it reads, "Then Jesus told them this parable. There was once a rich man who had the land which bore good crops. He began to think to himself, 'I don't have a place to keep all my crops. What can I do? This is what I will do,' he told himself. 'I will tear down my barns and build bigger ones, where I will store the grain and all my other goods. Then I will say to myself, lucky man, you have all the good things you need for many years. Take life easy, eat, drink, and enjoy yourself.' But God said to him, 'You fool, this very night you will have to give up your life. Then who will get all these things you have kept for yourself?' And Jesus concluded, 'This is how it is with those who pile up riches for themselves, but are not rich in God's sight.'" So the big takeaway from this parable that Pastor Paul and Deb preached on this Sunday is how investing in things for ourselves always come with a warning. But when we invest things of God, it always brings blessings. And to keep that in sight, when we talk about investing wisely and building wealth so that we can be generous, it's not for ourselves, it's to be generous. It's to put ourselves in a position where we can be a blessing to others. It's not to store up things for ourselves, because everything here on earth is temporary. We don't get to bring anything with us. But things we do for God is eternal. Another cool kind of saying I've heard before to put things in perspective, your ERA is more important than your IRA. IRA being your individual retirement account, but your ERA is your eternal retirement account. And that's what we need to be focused on, eternity, not just the here and now. One last little practical thing I wanted to say for this devotion of investing wisely. Principles that my dad taught me growing up, and also through Financial Peace University that I took and also taught with Dave Ramsey's principles, which are biblical principles he bases it on, is growth stock mutual funds. That's what I use, and it's the importance of that is it's diversifying your portfolio. A way to look at it is if you're investing in individual stocks, it's like gambling in a way, because you're putting all your eggs in one basket. You've heard that saying before. And you're basically saying, I'm betting that this company will do really well. And if they don't, then you lose it all. But you're banking it all on one. But when you diversify your portfolio, or money is like manure is another saying. If you leave it all in one stock or one place, it stinks, manure. But if you spread it out into the soil and spread it around, it's good and makes rich crop. And likewise, that's what we want to do, is diversify our portfolio where we're invested in many different things so that it can grow long term. One other principle and kind of funny saying is what I just said there. It's always long term, don't think short term. Saying is the only people that get hurt on a roller coaster are those that jump off. So in other words, you got to ride that roller coaster. There's going to be highs in the market, there's going to be lows in the market, but over time it always has grown. And you can look at that on the history of the stock market. It always grows over time, but sometimes there's high and sometimes there's real low lows. Right now it's low, many different factors, but primarily ever since the war broke out with Ukraine and Russia, the stock market's been a lot lower, but it will go up eventually. It's a roller coaster. You just got to ride that off and don't jump off. The only people that get hurt on a roller coaster are those that jump off. So I hope those kind of practical little sayings and tidbits kind of help you to better understand how we can invest wisely and do that in a way that honors God, and to remember we don't invest to find a source of security and safety in that, but understand that God is our only source of safety and security, and that we don't invest for ourselves, but we invest so that we can be generous and put ourselves in a position to be a blessing to others, and be thankful for what God has given us. So God bless and have a great weekend.